head shakes, head shakes. Oh, oh, this is exciting, folks. Bloodworm number 1. So you've got lots of different versions of the same lure. So you've got like your different profiles. So you've got like your 65, you've got your 120, and then you've got, for example, what we've got here, which is like an ultraviolet version of that 120. So for the sake of the video, we're going to call them all bloodworms, put them all in the same basket, put them on. You want to line it up so you know roughly where in the plastic that hook's going to come out. Feed the hook in through the mouth, keep bending it round, around, around until you get to roughly that point, then you poke it through and just straighten it. And if you do that, it should come out roughly how you want it. Alright, cast 1. So unfortunately we lost this audio because of how windy it was on that day, but effectively what I was doing here is I was fishing deep water and it was right on the slack tide as well, so there was the tiniest bit of flow but not very much at all. So because of that I could fish a much lighter jig head, which increases the realism of the plastic, and because it's just sort of drifting, wafting down through that water, you just get those nice tail movements and gorgeous wriggler tail. I think that's where that lure shines best. So the retrieve we did then was the double flick. We didn't get any bites. So what we're going to switch up to now is, well, first of all we're going to put some scent on, and then what we're going to do is what's called a prawn kick. So rather than mimic like a dying bait fish that's sort of, you know, freaking out a bit, jumping up behind the wall column and then come back down, this more so mimics like a little whiting or a mullet swimming through the mud. And I'll lather that up nicely. What it does is you pretty much just twitch your rod tip enough to get that tail working, but you only twitch enough so it's sort of hopping through the mud. And what that does is it kicks up a little bit of dust and gets that tail working, and it looks like a little foraging bait fish. So often I'll find when if the dying bait fish sort of technique isn't really working, or the double flick, I'll switch up to that little sort of just twitch of the rod tip, just that prawn kick, just like you'd fish a jerk shad. And I find that can often be surprisingly effective, especially for things like, believe it or not, bream, flathead and mulloway. I find are the big 3 that really like that sort of twitch. Alright, so what we've done now is I'm worried the engine noises spook the fish a little bit, so I've actually come a decent amount downstream of where the spot is, and I'm just going to use that current to drift into it, and hopefully just sort of have a much more natural, quiet presentation when we do get to the spot. Perfect. And yeah, I think we'll go back to that double flick, but each cast we'll switch it up. We'll do the double flick, we'll do the prawn kick, and we'll just keep switching until something, oh, got a tap. We'll just keep switching up till something works. If you do get a tap, often it's a good idea, you know, to do your strike, and if you don't find that you're onto the fish, just sort of twitch your lure a bit. Oh, we're on. Great fun. Great fun. That was on the, oh, I think we dropped it. Nope, still there. It's just very tiny. Yeah, just on that drop. Oh, actually no, there's a bit of weight to that. There's actually, I think this might be a bream, you know. I've got my bream fishing kit on, so I don't want to play it too hard, 'cause I've only got, oh, That might not be a brim, folks. That might not be a brim. I'm going to back my drag up because I've only got my brim fishing gear on. I've only got 10-pound leader. And this fish is taking me for a run. This is a really good fish. I think, because there was a very, very small fish on here, I could be way off on this, but I have a sneaking suspicion it's been eaten by something. Oh, head shakes, head shakes. Oh, oh, this is exciting, folks. Bloodworm number 1. Oh. It's finding like a very small, oh, very aggressive silver ghost, but we're just gonna play this. Oh, come on, come on. Be nice, be nice. Oh no, no, it hasn't come off. It's weird, it keeps like moving up to the boat and it feels like it's come off, but oh, here we go, here we go. We're gonna see some leader. Oh, I saw silver. Oh, we've definitely got silver. Ooh, big salmon. Big salmon. Oh, that's exciting. Oh. I think this might be a PB salmon. Oh no, he's taking my the wind in a bit. Yeah, it was fighting weird. It was fighting really weird, but there we go. Woo! It's fighting really weird, but there we go. Woo! Oh, you gotta love that. They put up a good fight. They really do. There you go. There it is. The bloodworm wriggler in the mouth of a beautiful salmon. Beautiful fish. Oh, there we go. And yeah, it's been hitting a bit. He hit that just on the drop. There you go, folks. That lure's been completely turned in half. You want it up like that, and it's bleeding now. The knife wasn't supposed to fold, and like I went to put pressure to spike the fish, and the knife folded, and folded in a way that it got me. Right, so that's more or less back on how it should be. We're going to reset the drift, fish that again, and see if we can't pick up something else. Now with our extra blood scent. Excited? Alright, let's reset the drift. We're going to drift through that deep water again and see how we go. Oh, it's so hard to fish with this wind. It's like one bit of my line's there, one bit's up there, and then like I twitch and I just wind up straight in the line and the lure doesn't move. Come on. There we go, folks. The strategy paid off. Nice little flatty. Whoa! Bit too much pep there. So there you go. Bloodworm strikes again. Right in the corner of the mouth too. And yeah, so that was that ultraviolet bloodworm flicking into that outgoing water. And when it got to him, it wasn't even... So there you go. Check your leader. Yep, she's good. When he hit that, I wasn't even working it. It was just purely just drifting down with the current. And that was enough to get him. A little handy tip as well, where you can, let me just wind in the slack, there we go. Where you can, you want to cast against the current, because like the fish will very often see like a dying bait fish sort of being swept down with the current, but it's not as often that they see a dying bait fish working against the current. So if you can, it's always a good idea to cast against the current and then just twitch it back in that stream. And often you'll find like if you twitch it into a deep hole or past some structure or anything like that, you'll usually find you can pick up some nice fish. Even the flatties sometimes will just be sitting there, face into the current, waiting for some, food to come past. And I've found even if there isn't that much structure around, you still get your things like your mulloway using those deep channels in that current to move efficiently with the tides. So I often find like, I remember there was one time, I won't say the location, but I was fishing a dewy hole and the tides were ripping through, like just absolutely ripping. Like it was just insane how quickly they were going. And anyway, we were casting out towards this bank and just sort of twitching it from that through the current back to our boat, and we picked up some nice, I think we got a 75 centimeter was our biggest mullet we got that night. So it just goes to show like the conventional wisdom is that you should be fishing a slack tide to catch mulloway, but often you find like you find those deep channels and they'll be in there. Like, and you think about it too, like if they're moving with the current going down through a deep channel and they see a dying bait fish twitching in front of them, they're not going to say no to that. Like they're going to smash it, and they do. They're a lazy predator, and if you plop down a lure in front of them and twitch it the right way and it's convincing enough, they're going to show some interest. And so I remember when I started fishing up for mulloway, they said, oh look, they're not going to sit in the current, battling those big tides, which is true, but they will move with the current, which I think is a very important thing to note. You can absolutely catch them when you do have that fast flowing water. You can catch them in that fast flowing water. But I'm on. Ooh, that's been fun. I think it's a salmon again. But you do have to nowhere near as big this time. You do have to do it the right way. There's definitely a wrong way and a right way to do it. Ooh, he does have a little bit of kick to him. He snapped me off. Snapped me off on the branch. I don't know if you got very. There you go, now you can see. There's a tree right there, and I've just been like twitching it past that, and he's gone to snap me off. Bummer. So because I've only got a 1/4 ounce jig head to fish this one, that's a bit too heavy for a plastic like this. It will fall through the water a lot faster than I want it to. So to compensate for that, we're going to go with that little jerk shad twitch, and that way it can just sort of hop through the water like that rather than coming up and then flying back down way faster than it should be. And hopefully if we do that, we can fish this lure in a way that still looks natural enough to entice that fish to bite. Here's hoping. But yeah, we're going to test out the 65mm bloodworm wriggler. There we go. Nice flatty. Well, a flathead on the 6. Oh, there we go. It spat the hook. There you go. Its face has seen better days, but there it is. That's what's done the damage. There you go, folks. We're on again. Oh, this time it's a little yakka. There you go. Okay, we might keep that as bait. So, for value, the bloodworm gets an easy 10 out of 10. It's about $7, I think, for a packet of 5 lures, making them one of the most affordable quality lures on the market, in my opinion. For versatility, it gets a 9 out of 10. The only reason it's not a 10 out of 10 is because you can't get anything above the 120mm size, but you can fish this in shallow water and deep water and fresh and salt. It will pretty much cover you everywhere. Number of fish is very easy. It caught 6 fish this day, so it gets a score of 6 for that one. For ease of use, it did lose a few points, and that's just because it's a soft plastic. So you do have to get the right jig head, you do have to get the right hook size, you do need to know the right knots for it. But having said that, if you can get pretty much the jig head and the hook size right, anything you do with it will work. For reliability, it gets a pretty convincing 9 out of 10. It will consistently catch fish pretty much regardless of the conditions. There's only one lure which will outperform it in that regard. Which finally gives this lure a score of 8.2, which puts it number 1 on the leaderboard.